Hi there, I'm Monique Carr, and today I wanted to share with you about my varnish process. And actually there's not only one varnish that I like, there's several of them depending of the size of my painting, depending if I use acrylic or if I use oil. For instance, this painting has a finish with oil, so I want to make sure I'm going to use a product for oil painting. So I like the Gamvar brand because it's odorless, and because this painting is quite large, I am going to use a satin finish, simply because when the painting is hanging in a gallery, you have the spotlights, and if you have something too glossy, you will get some glares. So I will be using satin finish for larger canvas. Also, a tip here to use the satin finish properly, and you need to shake the product really good because there's wax in the finish, and the wax gonna make it a satin finish. So you want to make sure that it's well shaken, and then you want to apply a very thin coat of the varnish. And the reason is that if you apply a coat that is too thick, then you will get some crevasses at some point, especially if you have a canvas, and some of the wax might lean toward, if you have, for instance, something with a lot of texture, well, where you have the texture on the top, you might not have the wax product on it, so it will look glossy than the rest. So make sure that you apply a very thin coat of it. I also apply the varnish with a nylon brush. Now, to varnish an acrylic painting, I will be using an acrylic product. The brand that I'm gonna use for this one is Nova, and I noticed that when I varnish on a wood panel, this one is wood, if I use a medium gloss varnish, it will appear too glossy. If I do that on a canvas, it's different. The gloss is not, is just perfect. It looks almost like a satin finish. But I notice on wood or paper, that will look too glossy for my taste. So what I experimented last time, I did half and half part of gloss medium varnish and matte medium varnish, and I mix it together to see if I get something in between, and I was happy with the results. So I am going to do that for this one, and I mix a little bit of, also I thinned the varnish with a little bit of water to make it a little bit more watery. And I will apply again a thin coat. For small work, I like to have a high gloss on this painting, just because I feel that they look like little shiny jewels, so I like a gloss finish. My favorite finish for these are the golden, and I like the one that has the UVL protection, especially if I have a painting that has a lot of reds or hot pink, bright colors, because they are more sensitive to light, and I do not want these colors to fade, of course, so I'm thinking that a UVL protection should help. So, and I will be using a high gloss for the small one and a satin version of that for a bigger painting. Especially this one is a wood finish, as a wood back to it, so definitely we'll use a satin on it with the UVL protection. I like to use a spray varnish on a painting that might have some mark making like charcoal or stabilo pencil, or things that might smear if I use a brush. So I like to use a spray varnish on these paintings. Well, I hope this video will help you in the future to decide of which varnish to use, and I will see you next time.